The Mystery of Sally Chong. On the night of April 1st, 2008, 22-year-old Sally Chong settled into bed around 9 in the evening after a day spent playing tennis with her siblings at Monash University in Melbourne, Victoria. Her mother later checked on her and found her fast asleep. It appeared to be a peaceful evening, with no indication that anything was amiss. However, just hours later, Sally would vanish without a trace from her family's home in Oakley South, leaving behind a mystery that has endured for over a decade. Sally was last definitively seen by her sister Wendy in the early hours of April 2nd at around 3 in the morning. Wendy, who had been using her computer in her shared bedroom, heard movement in the hallway and assumed it was their mother. Pretending to sleep to avoid getting in trouble, she peeked through the door and saw someone standing near their sister Helen's room and then outside Sally's. Wendy then observed Sally walking back from what she presumed was the bathroom. She also heard a low male voice say something that sounded like, "Yeah," but could not identify the speaker. She assumed it was Helen's boyfriend, who had been known to visit the home late at night in the past. The following morning, Sally's absence initially went unnoticed. Her father, Chong, returned home late from a business trip and briefly entered Sally's room around 11 in the evening to leave a set of van keys on her dressing table. He softly called her name, but didn't wake her. Around 7:30 the next morning, Mr. Chong noticed the keys to his BMW and business had been left just outside his bedroom, likely by Sally, who had occasionally driven the vehicle. The family assumed she had already left for work. By mid-morning, concerns began to surface. Sally's younger brother Andrew received a phone call at home around 9 in the morning, asking him to give their father's mobile phone to Sally to bring to work. When Andrew couldn't find her, he gave the phone to their sister Anna. The family believed Sally must have already gone to work. It wasn't until around 1 in the afternoon that people started to get worried. After several attempts to contact Sally throughout the day failed, Helen finally reached Sally's boyfriend, who confirmed he hadn't seen her and had no idea where she was. Sally was reported missing to the police that afternoon. It was soon discovered that her mobile phone had not been used since the night before, and none of her bank accounts had been accessed. A closer inspection of her room revealed that several personal belongings were missing, including her wallet, car keys, iPod, and a blanket she had cherished since childhood. Curiously, her car was still parked outside, and her passport was left behind. The last person to hear from Sally was her sister Helen, who reported that between 10:30 and 11 in the evening the night before, she had heard Sally's mobile phone and the home landline ringing repeatedly from inside her bedroom. However, Sally did not answer either call. There was no indication that she had made any arrangements to meet someone or to leave home for an extended period. Sally had recently returned from a year studying in China. Upon her return, her siblings noticed a subtle change in her demeanor. Her sister Helen mentioned that Sally had started expressing a desire for more freedom and independence, something she had not spoken of before. These remarks led the family to wonder if she had been dealing with internal struggles she chose not to share. While there was no immediate evidence suggesting she left voluntarily, the idea lingered in the background as a possibility. One particularly disturbing element in the case was the unknown male voice heard by Wendy in the early morning hours. The identity of this individual has never been confirmed. Police believe that this man may hold critical information, as they suspect Sally either left with him willingly or was led away under suspicious circumstances. Despite appeals to the public and numerous interviews, no one matching that vague description ever came forward. The disappearance of Sally Chong devastated her family. Her parents and siblings, especially her younger ones who lived in the home with her, struggled to cope with the sudden loss. Sally was known as responsible, soft-spoken, and deeply connected to her family. There was no history of health concerns, nor was there any indication of her intending to leave her life behind. Years have passed, but the case remains open. Authorities continue to encourage anyone with information to come forward. Despite the lack of new leads, Sally's family has never given up hope. They have expressed that even if Sally chose to leave on her own, they want her to know she is loved and that she will always have a place to come home to. At the time she went missing, Sally Chong stood at 5 feet 3 inches tall, with a slim build, long brown hair, brown eyes, and a tanned complexion. She was believed to be wearing a red t-shirt and dark blue track pants. Her sudden and unexplained disappearance continues to haunt the Oakley South community and remains one of Melbourne's enduring mysteries. Wherever Sally is, her family hopes for answers and continues to search for the truth behind her vanishing. Until then, her case serves as a reminder of how someone can disappear so quietly, even from the safety of their own home, leaving behind only questions and heartache. The mystery of Brianna Maitelland. In the early spring of 2004, Brianna Maitelland, a driven and independent 17-year-old from Vermont, appeared to be focused on building a promising future. Despite facing some recent setbacks, she had recently completed her GED, held a steady job at the Black Lantern Inn in Montgomery, and was contemplating college. However, everything changed on March 19, 2004, when Brianna vanished under puzzling and troubling circumstances, leaving behind a trail of clues that would spark a mystery lasting nearly 2 decades. Born on October 8, 1986, to parents Bruce and Kelly Maitland, Brianna spent her childhood in East Franklin, Vermont, growing up on a rural farm with her older brother. Described by family and friends as bright, independent, and strong-willed, Brianna also had a background in martial arts, including jiu-jitsu. On her 17th birthday, she made the decision to move out of her family home to live closer to her peers. This move led to challenges with school attendance, resulting in her dropping out shortly before graduation. Still determined, she quickly enrolled in a GED program and appeared to be back on track. By March 2004, Brianna was living with a close friend in Sheldon, Vermont, approximately 20 miles from her job. However, weeks before her disappearance, Brianna was involved in a disturbing altercation at a party. A former friend, allegedly jealous over interactions between Brianna and a male attendee, physically attacked her. This resulted in a concussion and a broken nose. Brianna filed charges against the attacker, though the case never proceeded due to her disappearance. While the individual involved was later cleared of any connection, some observers question whether all leads were fully explored. The events of March 19, 2004 began with promise. Brianna successfully completed her GED exam in the morning and celebrated by having lunch with her mother. According to her mother, she seemed upbeat and excited about the future. Later, while shopping together, Brianna briefly left the store, appearing visibly shaken when she returned. Her mother noticed her distress, but chose not to press the issue. She dropped Brianna off at her residence between 3:30 and 4 in the afternoon, unaware it would be the last time she saw her daughter. Before heading to work, Brianna left a note for her roommate saying she would return after her shift. She drove off in her 1985 Oldsmobile, registered to her mother, and clocked in for her shift at the Black Lantern Inn. According to co-workers, she left alone at 11:20 in the evening when her shift ended. The next morning, a Vermont state trooper discovered Brianna's car backed into an abandoned house along Route 118 in Richford, Vermont, less than 2 miles from the Black Lantern Inn. The rear of the car had damaged the structure's wooden siding. Brianna's paychecks, along with personal items including coins, an unused cigarette, and a water bottle, were found both inside and around the vehicle. Believing it to be an abandoned vehicle or possibly related to impaired driving, the officer had the car towed without realizing its connection to a missing person. Unfortunately, a series of misunderstandings and delays meant that Brianna wasn't reported missing until several days later. Her roommate, who had been away for the weekend, didn't realize anything was amiss until returning on Monday. She assumed Brianna was staying with friends and didn't contact her family until Tuesday. Brianna's mother, after failing to locate her through friends and family, filed a missing persons report on March 23rd. The discovery of Brianna's car was not revealed to the family until March 25th, when police showed them a photo of the car lodged into the side of the house. Her parents immediately identified it. In the days following her disappearance, numerous individuals claimed to have seen the vehicle along the roadside at different times between late night and early morning. Some mentioned the headlights or turn signals were still on. Others noted no visible signs of anyone inside or around the vehicle. One report even referenced a piece of jewelry found on the ground, though this was never officially confirmed. Initially, investigators treated the case as a possible runaway. However, her wallet, ATM card, glasses, and medications were all left behind in the car. As time went on, the FBI suggested the scene may have been staged to appear accidental. Local searches yielded little. Brianna's car had been left at a garage before being returned to her family, potentially compromising valuable forensic evidence. Anonymous tips soon pointed to the involvement of local individuals known for criminal activity. A house linked to 2 known dealers was raided after a tip claimed Brianna was being held there. Though no evidence of her presence was found, friends revealed she had associated with those individuals and had experimented with substances in the past. Later, a gruesome rumor suggested Brianna had been harmed over a debt and that her remains had been hidden on a pig farm. This claim was never substantiated. Over time, more leads emerged. In 2006, security footage from an Atlantic City casino showed a woman resembling Brianna. The woman was never identified. Investigators also explored a potential connection to the disappearance of Maura Murray, a college student who vanished in New Hampshire just a month earlier. Authorities eventually concluded there was no direct link. Brianna's case also caught the attention of those researching the movements of a known serial offender, though that theory was also ruled out. In 2016, authorities revealed they had recovered DNA evidence from Brianna's vehicle. For years, details about the DNA went unreleased. Then, in 2022, Vermont State Police confirmed that the DNA matched someone previously interviewed during the investigation. The person was said to be cooperative, but their identity remains confidential. Investigators continue to explore all avenues, but no arrests have been made. The house Brianna's car was discovered at was destroyed in a fire years later, erasing a haunting visual symbol of the case. Despite decades of speculation, sightings, and tips, Brianna Maitelland remains missing. Her family has never given up hope and continues to advocate for answers. As of today, her disappearance is still classified as unsolved, and her case remains open. The unsolved case of Luke Durbin. Luke Durbin's disappearance remains one of the most enduring mysteries in the United Kingdom. A teenager with a love for music and dreams of travel, his vanishing on the night of May 11, 2006, left behind questions that still remain unanswered. Born and raised in the quiet village of Hollesley, Suffolk, Luke grew up in a close-knit household with his mother and younger sister. He was known for being kind-hearted, thoughtful, and musically gifted. His passion for the guitar and dreams of recording music spoke to a young man with ambition and creativity. Despite briefly attending a music school, Luke left after a year, disillusioned and unsure of his path. However, his fortunes seemed to turn when he secured work at a local greengrocer. The structure and responsibility of the job appeared to provide him with a renewed sense of purpose. He was described by friends and family as having grown more focused and mature. It wasn't unusual for him to bring home groceries from work to cook for his mother and sister, displaying his caring and thoughtful nature. On the evening of May 11, 2006, Luke made plans to enjoy a night out with his friends Alex and Zach. He had taken the following day off work in anticipation of a late evening. Leaving his motorbike, phone and change of clothes at Alex's house in Woodbridge, he joined his friends for drinks before taking a taxi into Ipswich. The trio ended up at Zest nightclub, which would later close its doors following an unrelated tragic incident. That night, Alex returned home early, while Luke and Zach continued to enjoy the night. Inside the club, Luke and Zach became separated. When Zach couldn't find Luke, he assumed his friend had met someone and left. What happened next has puzzled investigators and family members for nearly 2 decades. Sometime between 2:30 and 3 in the morning and on May 12th, Luke was seen at Ipswich train station, but with no trains running at that hour, he was asked to leave. Around 3:45 in the morning, he turned up at Hawk's taxi service. Despite not having money for a ride, he declined the offer to call his mother for assistance, reportedly not wanting to wake her since she had work in the morning. Luke's final confirmed sighting came shortly after 4 in the morning, when he was captured on CCTV crossing Dogs Head Street. He appeared calm and composed. However, he has not been definitively seen since. A later potential sighting was reported the same afternoon by 2 witnesses who claimed to have seen him in a dark blue Renault Megane being driven by a man in Woodbridge. If accurate, it leaves a significant gap of unaccounted time between his last confirmed sighting and that alleged encounter. Adding to the mystery is the discovery of a suspicious Volvo 440 seen on CCTV shortly after Luke's final sighting. When authorities traced the vehicle, They discovered it was registered with a false name and address. This led to speculation about the presence of unregulated taxis operating in the area at the time, vehicles reportedly linked to various forms of exploitation and criminal activity. The theory emerged that Luke, appearing alone and vulnerable, may have entered such a vehicle that night. In 2012, 2 men were arrested on suspicion of involvement in Luke's disappearance. Though their homes were searched, no further evidence was discovered, and they were released without charges. Police have remained tight-lipped about the details leading to those arrests, and no new major developments have been announced since. For Luke's family, the uncertainty is heartbreaking. With no definitive answers, they continue to search for the truth and hope that someone, somewhere, may hold the key to understanding what really happened that night. Luke's case remains an open investigation, one that still calls for awareness and resolution. The mystery of Bryce Bourer. The mysterious disappearance of Bryce Bourer has remained one of the most troubling unsolved cases in recent memory for the community of Eagan, Minnesota. On the night of October 30th, 2022, Bryce, a 23-year-old man, vanished under baffling circumstances after being dropped off by a rideshare service just 2 miles from his home. What followed was a series of confusing events, unanswered questions, and an intensive search that has yet to yield answers. Bryce Bourer was born on June 15, 1999, to his parents, Troy and Karina Bourer. Raised in Minnesota, Bryce grew up in a quiet and picturesque environment that helped shape his warm personality and strong sense of connection to his community. By all accounts, Bryce was a friendly, outgoing young man with close ties to family and friends. On the evening of his disappearance, Bryce had been celebrating Halloween with a group of friends. It was a joyful night, marked by costumes, laughter, and the light-hearted spirit of the season. As the night wound down between 2 and 2:30 in the morning, Bryce and 2 friends arranged for a lift ride. He was dropped off in the area of Hill Ridge Drive in Eagan, approximately 2 miles away from his residence on Promenade Avenue. According to those who were with him that evening, Bryce mentioned that he planned to walk home. However, surveillance and later findings suggested he instead headed toward the heavily wooded area of the Minnesota River Valley, a direction opposite from his intended route. This decision has been central to the mystery, raising questions about what might have prompted such a change. Later that morning, around 10:50 in the morning, Bryce's friends contacted emergency services to report concerns for his well-being. Authorities conducted a welfare check at his home but found no sign of him. His absence quickly escalated into a missing person investigation by the Eagan Police Department. The Lyft driver who dropped Bryce off shared key observations. He recalled Bryce being visibly intoxicated and noted an alarming incident in which Bryce attempted to exit the vehicle while it was still moving. Bryce's friends also confirmed that he had intended to walk home, which under normal circumstances would have taken about 45 minutes. A chilling detail emerged when Bryce's friends reported receiving a FaceTime call from him at 2:34 in the morning. During the brief conversation, Bryce expressed confusion about his location and mentioned that his phone battery was at just 2%. His surroundings appeared wooded, and shortly after, the call dropped. That moment marked the last known contact anyone had with him. Investigators used data from Bryce's phone to trace his movements. The digital trail led through an industrial area near the intersection of Yankee Doodle Road and Highway 13. This location was consistent with the direction toward the Minnesota River Valley, not his home. The search that followed was extensive. Over 1,000 acres of land were combed by law enforcement and volunteers using drones, search dogs, and ground teams. Despite the comprehensive efforts, no confirmed trace of Bryce was found. His disappearance has deeply impacted the local community and drawn attention from across the country. As weeks turned into months, his family remained active in their search, creating a website dedicated to Bryce's story and sharing regular updates. In a bid to bring in new information, the Bourer family has offered a $30,000 reward for any leads that may help locate him. The generous offer is a reflection of their enduring hope and commitment to uncovering the truth. The reasons behind Bryce's deviation from his planned route remain unclear. Whether his altered state of mind contributed to confusion or whether something more complex occurred in those early morning hours is still unknown. What is clear is that a young man, just 2 miles from home, disappeared without a trace. The case continues to weigh heavily on those who knew Bryce and those who have followed the developments closely. The efforts to find him have not ceased, and his family continues to hold on to hope that answers will one day surface. The disappearance of Bryce Bourer serves as a painful reminder of how quickly someone can vanish, even in familiar surroundings. It underscores the importance of community support, persistent investigation, and public awareness in missing persons cases. Until new information comes forward, the mystery remains, and those who care about Bryce continue to search for the day he will be found. The unsolved mystery of the Watcher. In the summer of 2014, Derek and Maria Broadus purchased what they believed to be their forever home in the quiet, upscale town of Westfield, New Jersey. The house at 657 Boulevard was nearly 110 years old and nestled in a safe, affluent neighborhood. With 3 young children and deep roots in the community, Maria had grown up nearby, the couple felt they were starting a promising new chapter. They paid $1.3 million for the property, reportedly even above the asking price, suggesting they were eager to secure the historic home. Almost immediately after closing, they began renovations, scheduling contractors to start work within a day of finalizing the deal. However, just 3 days after the purchase, things took an eerie turn. Derek Broadus had been at the house alone in the evening, painting and inspecting the progress. When he checked the mailbox, he discovered an envelope addressed simply to the new owner. It had no return address and was delivered via regular mail. Inside was a typed letter that began politely, welcoming the family to the neighborhood, but it quickly shifted into unsettling territory. The writer claimed that their family had been watching the house for generations, starting with their grandfather in the 1920s, then their father in the 1960s, and now it was their turn. The letter referred to the home's age and hinted at secrets hidden within its walls. The letter became more disturbing when the writer made clear observations about the Broadus family, referencing their children, vehicles, and the presence of contractors. The tone suggested hostility toward the ongoing renovations and a deep, personal connection to the house itself. The writer identified the children as young blood and made cryptic remarks about wanting to learn their names in order to draw them to them. It concluded with a chilling statement, typed in a cursive font and signed simply as the Watcher. Derek, alarmed by the letter's content and the implications it carried, secured the home, turned off all the lights, and contacted local police. Authorities responded and examined the letter, but were reportedly as puzzled as the Broadus family. The couple later reached out to the previous owners, the Woods, to inquire whether they had experienced anything similar. From that moment on, the Broadus family found themselves caught in a mystery that was as terrifying as it was unsolvable. Despite the initial impression that this might have been an isolated incident, the disturbing letters continued. The Watcher seemed to have specific knowledge of the family's schedule, renovation plans, and personal details that implied ongoing surveillance. This unnerving series of events prompted both fear and confusion. Some people speculated that perhaps the incident was part of a cruel prank. Others believed the situation was far more serious, a calculated campaign of aggravation. There was even suspicion that the Broaduses themselves had fabricated the letters, possibly due to buyer's remorse or financial stress. However, most who have faced similar intrusions know how deeply unsettling it is to feel watched and powerless, especially when one's children are involved. What makes this case particularly fascinating is the psychological weight it carried. The tone and content of the letters varied in mood, leading some to speculate that the author might have written them over several days. The shift in language, from welcoming to menacing, hinted at emotional instability or mood changes, possibly fueled by personal grievances or psychological distress. One important observation is that the letter originally addressed a single recipient, but then pivoted to referencing the entire family. This suggests the author may have initially only observed Derek, then later noticed the family and adjusted the narrative accordingly. Their fixation on the children, use of odd phrases, and emotional tone added to the sense of unease. The fact that the house never had a for sale sign and was purchased above market value has also raised questions. How did the author know so much, so quickly? Could it have been someone with access to the neighborhood, perhaps even someone involved in the sale or renovations? Some theorize the letters came from a neighbor disturbed by changes to the house or jealous of the family's lifestyle. Others have speculated about a long-time local who believed they had a spiritual or personal claim to the property. Whatever the motive, the fear and paranoia the Broadus family experienced was very real. The sense of being under constant watch, combined with the helplessness of not knowing who was responsible, created an ongoing emotional strain. Critics who believe the family overreacted may underestimate the psychological impact such anonymous threats can cause, especially when the safety of children is perceived to be at risk. In the years since the story broke, it has inspired documentaries, articles, and even a dramatized Netflix series. Yet, the mystery remains unsolved. Despite investigations and widespread media attention, the identity of the watcher has never been confirmed. The house at 657 Boulevard still stands, and the story continues to capture public curiosity, a haunting reminder that even in the most idyllic neighborhoods, some secrets may never be uncovered. The strange case of Christopher Tomkins. Christopher Tomkins was a 20-year-old man living with his mother in Georgia when he mysteriously vanished under circumstances that continue to baffle both investigators and those who follow his case. On the morning of January 25, 2002, Christopher reported to work as usual at a local surveying company. He left his car at the company office and rode with a co-worker to a job site located on County Line Road in Ellerslie, a part of Harris County, Georgia. The day appeared to be unfolding like any other, but by the afternoon, Christopher would inexplicably disappear, leaving behind few clues and many unanswered questions. That day, Christopher was working in a formation with 3 other men, spaced roughly 50 feet apart, as they carried out land surveying work. Christopher held the position at the end of the line. After a lunch break, the group returned to their tasks. At one point, a co-worker was speaking to Christopher, then briefly turned away to focus on another part of his task. When he turned back and spoke again, Christopher no longer responded. Looking up, he realized Christopher was no longer in view. Initially, the co-worker assumed he may have stepped into the woods for a moment, perhaps to take a break, but after calling out several times without a reply, concern quickly grew. The workers went to the location where Christopher had last been seen and found his work gear scattered on the ground. Strangely, one of his boots was discovered hanging on a barbed wire fence. Beside it were his tools, 12 cents in loose change, and a small piece of blue fabric that matched the pants Christopher had been wearing. Despite searching the area, there was no trace of Christopher himself. Authorities were called, but a full investigation was delayed due to the standard 24-hour waiting period for adults who go missing. Christopher's mother was informed later that afternoon, around 4:15 in the afternoon, and was deeply troubled by the delay in contacting her. She was particularly disturbed by how quickly the assumption was made that Christopher had simply walked off, especially given the odd nature of the scene where he vanished. When law enforcement finally began their search, they were unable to locate any more clues. The site was carefully examined, but no signs of a struggle or clear direction of travel were found. One of the co-workers reportedly obtained legal representation shortly after the incident, although the reason remains unclear. Authorities publicly leaned toward the theory that Christopher had left voluntarily, but his mother remained convinced that something far more troubling had occurred. In a strange development, 5 months later, a local farmer discovered a single boot in a swampy area less than a mile from where Christopher disappeared. The boot was confirmed to belong to him, but again, no other evidence was found in the surrounding area. Christopher Tomkins' disappearance remains unsolved. His case continues to raise questions, particularly because of the unusual clues left behind and the lack of any further leads. His family still searches for answers, hoping one day to uncover the truth about what happened in those woods. The strange case of Linda Artigga. The mysterious disappearance of Linda Artigga in September 2012 quickly captured public attention, not just for the circumstances surrounding her vanishing, but also for the strange and unsettling nature of her eventual return. Linda, a 53-year-old woman from the Ozarks region just north of Arkansas, went missing during what was supposed to be a simple survival skills outing in the woods with her brother. What unfolded instead became one of the region's most curious unsolved wilderness cases. Linda had joined her brother Eddie, who was known to be experienced in survival training, for an afternoon walk in the Ozark Mountains. Their intention was to practice and learn essential outdoor survival techniques. While Eddie was confident and well-versed in navigating the terrain, Linda had far less experience in such environments. The two had ventured into the woods that afternoon with no expectation that it would become anything more than a routine exercise. However, the peaceful activity turned unexpectedly serious when they entered a part of the forest that even Eddie found unfamiliar. Despite his many visits to that region, something about the landscape felt off. As Eddie looked to the mountains for some kind of orientation, he turned back to find Linda no longer beside him. The disappearance triggered a widespread search, with teams combing the surrounding woods in a race against time. Temperatures were dropping with the onset of autumn, and Linda had been carrying very few supplies. Given her limited survival experience, concern quickly grew among both the family and the community. Days passed with no trace of her, and the chances of locating her alive began to dim. But then, almost miraculously, Linda emerged from the forest nearly a week later. When she reappeared, she was described by authorities as dazed, physically exhausted, and emotionally shaken. Chief Deputy Dwayne Pierce, who was present when Linda was found, later remarked that she did not seem fully grounded upon her return, stating that she wasn't quite herself. Despite her clear disorientation, Linda was alive and able to walk out of the woods under her own strength, an outcome few had expected. Linda credited her survival in part to the tips and techniques her brother had shared with her just before they became separated. She had managed to survive by foraging for berries and other edible plants, though she endured the cold and exposure by sleeping on the forest floor with little protection. Still, it was not just the physical ordeal that left a mark on her. Upon being questioned about her time in the forest, Linda gave an eerie account that deepened the mystery. She claimed that she was not alone during her disappearance. As night would fall, she described seeing shadowy figures moving through the trees, silent, indistinct shapes that lingered at the edge of her vision. These figures never responded to her cries and seemed to only observe her. Though they did not appear to threaten her directly, their presence added a layer of psychological distress that compounded her physical hardship. Linda's statement about the forest releasing her suggested that she believed she had been held by something beyond simple disorientation. Whether her experience was a result of stress, fatigue, or something more elusive remains open to interpretation. Her words and demeanor sparked curiosity and speculation, especially among those familiar with other strange disappearances in forested regions. Her case was not only about survival, but about the unexplained. Though Linda eventually recovered from her ordeal, the full story of what happened to her in those 6 days remains uncertain. Her family was relieved to have her home, but the mystery surrounding her disappearance has never been fully resolved. As with many who have vanished and returned from remote wilderness areas under strange conditions, Linda's case continues to raise questions that have yet to find clear answers. The mystery of Thelma Krul. The disappearance and tragic discovery of Thelma Krul remains one of the most unsettling unsolved cases in recent Canadian memory. A 57-year-old grandmother from Winnipeg, Thelma went missing on the morning of July 11, 2015, during what began as a routine walk. She had left her home in the grassy boulevard area around 7:23 in the morning as part of her preparation for an upcoming hike on British Columbia's West Coast Trail. What was supposed to be a peaceful day quickly became the beginning of a mystery that continues to haunt many. Following her disappearance, an extensive search unfolded. Investigators determined that Thelma had reached Civic Park near Kildonan East Collegiate by approximately 8 in the morning. Evidence pointed to an altercation occurring at that location, after which Thelma was believed to have been taken against her will. Authorities speculated she was moved into a nearby building, residence, or possibly a vehicle. Though numerous leads surfaced, no solid answers emerged for years. 1 year later, in 2016, police shared a potential breakthrough when they received a tip of a possible sighting near a gas station at Kimberley Avenue and Gateway Road. A woman, believed to be Thelma, was seen in distress, accompanied by a man described as having a stocky build and bowl-cut hairstyle. A sketch of this individual was released to the public, and he remains a person of interest to this day. Authorities believed the man may have had connections to the Valley Gardens area, either through residence, employment, or regular visits. Despite public appeals and the high-profile nature of the case, Years passed with no sign of Thelma Krul. Then, in October 2018, a hunter made a grim discovery in a wooded area in the rural municipality of Tash, southeast of Winnipeg. DNA tests confirmed that the remains found near Chemin-Perrin Road belonged to Thelma. The location, approximately 50 kilometers from where she was last seen, raised further questions. Investigators suggested the area might be known to the person responsible, perhaps used as a deliberate location due to its remote and desolate surroundings. Winnipeg Police Service's Sergeant Wes Rommel stated that although he could not reveal how Thelma's life came to an end, there was no indication she knew her assailant. The remote nature of the area where she was found hinted that her disappearance was not random. Law enforcement emphasized the importance of the public focusing on this specific location, suggesting the person responsible was likely familiar with that stretch of land. The discovery of Thelma's remains, while providing some closure to her family and friends, reopened wounds and reignited calls for justice. Her husband, Robert Krul, expressed gratitude for the support but requested privacy as the family processed the heartbreaking confirmation. Her friend and former co-worker Susan Dell voiced a sentiment shared by many, stating that although finding Thelma offered some answers, it also reintroduced grief and uncertainty. As the investigation continued, authorities encouraged those living in both the Valley Gardens area and the rural site where Thelma was found to come forward with any memories or suspicions from the summer of 2015. Although the case has since gone quiet, law enforcement remains committed to uncovering the truth. Thelma Krul's story is a reminder of how one ordinary morning can change everything. Her disappearance and the mystery surrounding her final moments continue to raise questions that remain unanswered. For her family, friends, and the broader community, hope persists that one day someone will come forward with the information needed to bring resolution and justice to this deeply troubling case. The mystery of Pamela Jean Dunn. Pamela Jean Dunn's disappearance remains one of South Dakota's most mysterious and tragic unresolved cases. On the evening of December 9, 2001, Pamela was last seen by her mother after she dropped her off at her residence in Watertown, South Dakota at around 6 in the evening. Later that night, at approximately 8, Pamela spoke with her daughter over the phone and mentioned that her former boyfriend, David Asmussen, was at her house. This detail would become particularly significant as the investigation into her disappearance unfolded. Later that evening, at 11, Pamela called her mother and shared that she had just spoken with Asmussen again and was very upset. After that phone call, she was never heard from again. When she failed to show up for work the following morning, concern quickly grew. Authorities soon discovered her vehicle parked at her home, which was locked. Inside, her purse and keys had been left on the table, an unusual and troubling sign. There were no indications of a forced entry or struggle, but the absence of Pamela without explanation raised serious red flags. Investigators immediately considered the possibility of foul play, particularly given Pamela's recent history with Asmussen. Their relationship had become strained after she began seeing someone new, prompting her to obtain a protection order against him. The court order prohibited Asmussen from contacting her in any form. However, despite the legal restrictions, he continued to reach out. Records showed he called her at least 17 times over a span of less than 2 weeks and left multiple messages that were reportedly threatening in nature. Asmussen confirmed to law enforcement that he had visited Pamela on the day she disappeared, making him the last known person to have seen her. Although he was not immediately charged in connection with her disappearance, he was later convicted of stalking and violating the protection order. That conviction led to a 40-month prison sentence, which he unsuccessfully appealed. In a significant development, new evidence emerged, leading to Asmussen being formally charged with taking Pamela. Prosecutors alleged that he took her to cause emotional harm. This charge came on the very day his appeal was denied. In 2007, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison. However, despite the conviction, Pamela's body was never found, and no additional charges have been filed related to her possible passing. There were unconfirmed theories suggesting that Pamela might have traveled to Florida, but these speculations have not been supported by solid evidence. Her disappearance, paired with the distressing timeline and troubling behavior exhibited by Asmussen, strongly points to foul play. Despite the conviction, Her family and community have never received full closure, as the circumstances surrounding what exactly happened to her remain unclear. Pamela Jean Dunn's case continues to be a painful reminder of the risks many face in abusive or coercive relationships. Though justice has been partially served through the legal system, her loved ones continue to seek answers and hope that one day the full truth will come to light. The Call of the Void. The phenomenon known as the Call of the Void is one of the more mysterious and intriguing psychological experiences reported by many people across the world. Described as a fleeting and inexplicable urge to leap from a high place or veer off a road into oncoming traffic, it often strikes without warning and disappears just as quickly. This strange signal, though unsettling, typically lasts for only a moment. Yet, after it passes, many individuals find themselves disturbed by its intensity, questioning their state and wondering why such a thought occurred in the first place. Despite its dramatic name, the experience is surprisingly common. Research indicates that up to 50 to 60% of healthy individuals have encountered this fleeting urge at some point in their lives. What makes it so baffling is that these thoughts often arise in people who have no ongoing struggles or underlying distress, leaving many to wonder about the origin and meaning behind such impulses. For a long time, psychologists theorized that this phenomenon might be linked to impulsivity or a sign of hidden distress. Some believed that it hinted at a subconscious desire for self-harm or that it reflected suppressed emotional difficulties. However, more recent research has challenged this idea, offering a more nuanced and reassuring explanation. In 2012, a study conducted by Hames and colleagues proposed a different interpretation of the Call of the Void. Rather than viewing it as a dark or impulsive drive, the researchers suggested that it could actually be a misfiring of the brain's natural threat detection systems. According to their findings, what people are experiencing is not truly a desire to leap, but rather a momentary misinterpretation of the body's heightened awareness of danger. The sensation might arise when the brain processes the risk of standing near a ledge or being in a situation where one false step could have serious consequences. As a result of this heightened state of alertness, the brain may quickly assess the situation and then mistakenly translate the anxious bodily sensations into an urge to jump. It's not a true intention or desire, but rather a protective mechanism gone momentarily awry. The body senses a threat and becomes anxious, and this anxiety is then interpreted by the mind in an unusual way. This view reframes the Call of the Void not as an indicator of psychological instability, but as evidence of the brain's complex system of survival instincts. It also suggests that people who experience these thoughts may actually be more sensitive to internal and external cues related to danger, such as body position and environmental risks. Importantly, experiencing the Call of the Void does not mean that someone is in immediate psychological distress or facing deeper emotional concerns. These thoughts are categorized as intrusive and unintentional, similar to other common fleeting thoughts people might have that seem out of character or disturbing. Intrusive thoughts are a normal part of processing and do not necessarily reflect deeper desires or intentions. While the phenomenon itself is still not extensively studied, the fact that it occurs so widely across the general population suggests it is a natural quirk of human cognition, rather than something to be feared. Understanding this can help reduce the stigma or anxiety people may feel after experiencing it. Rather than viewing it as a sign of something wrong, it can instead be seen as a brief moment when the brain's systems of awareness and protection miscommunicate. In the end, the Call of the Void remains a powerful example of how complex and mysterious the human mind can be. Although it may cause momentary unease, research shows it is a common and explainable experience, and for most people, nothing to be alarmed about. In the vast expanse of the Martian landscape, where the red sands stretch as far as the eye can see, the Mars rover has been tirelessly exploring, uncovering secrets hidden beneath the surface of the mysterious planet. Among the countless images transmitted back to Earth, one photograph in particular has captured the imagination of the world, a striking image that appears to show the unmistakable silhouette of a skeletal figure exposed on the barren surface of Mars. The photograph, taken by the Mars rover's high-resolution camera, reveals a scene both eerie and intriguing, a stark contrast to the desolate landscape that surrounds it. Against the backdrop of the Martian horizon, the skeletal figure stands out in stark relief, its elongated limbs and skull-like features etched against the dusty red soil. Speculation about the origins of the mysterious skeleton has run rampant since the image was first released to the public. Some have suggested that it could be the remains of an ancient Martian civilization, long extinct and forgotten beneath the sands of time. Others have proposed more outlandish theories, positing that it may be evidence of extraterrestrial life or even the remnants of a long-lost astronaut stranded on the surface of Mars. But skeptics caution against jumping to conclusions, pointing out the tendency of the human brain to perceive familiar shapes and patterns in random stimuli. They argue that the skeleton-like figure may be nothing more than a trick of light and shadow, a natural formation sculpted by the harsh Martian winds over millions of years. Despite the skepticism, the photograph has reignited debate about the possibility of life on Mars and the tantalizing prospect of uncovering evidence of ancient civilizations on the red planet. For centuries, humans have looked to the stars with a sense of wonder and curiosity, searching for signs of life beyond our own planet. And while previous missions to Mars have yielded valuable data about the planet's geology and atmosphere, the question of whether life exists, or once existed, on Mars remains unanswered. The discovery of the skeleton-like figure is just the latest in a series of tantalizing clues that have fueled speculation about the possibility of life on Mars. In recent years, scientists have uncovered evidence of liquid water beneath the Martian surface, a key ingredient for life as we know it. They have also identified organic molecules in Martian rocks, suggesting that the planet may have once been capable of supporting microbial life. But the search for definitive proof of life on Mars continues, with future missions to the red planet poised to shed new light on the mysteries of our celestial neighbor. In the meantime, the photograph of the skeleton-like figure serves as a reminder of the boundless potential for discovery that awaits us in the uncharted depths of space. As scientists analyze the photograph and debate its significance, the public is left to ponder the implications of what may lie beyond the frame. In the vast expanse of the Martian landscape, NASA's Opportunity rover made a discovery that captured the imagination of scientists and space enthusiasts alike, a mysterious dome structure hidden among the rugged terrain of the red planet. This mysterious find, revealed through images transmitted back to Earth, sparked intrigue and speculation about its origins and purpose, fueling debates about the possibility of ancient civilizations on Mars. The discovery of the dome structure by NASA's Opportunity rover was a serendipitous moment in the ongoing exploration of Mars. As the rover traversed the Martian surface, its panoramic camera captured a series of images that revealed the presence of a distinctively shaped structure nestled amidst the rocky landscape. The dome structure, with its smooth, curved surface and symmetrical design, stood out against the backdrop of the Martian terrain. Its sheer size and unusual appearance immediately caught the attention of scientists and researchers at NASA, who quickly began analyzing the images to better understand the nature of this strange formation. Speculation about the dome structure abounded, with some suggesting that it could be a natural geological feature formed through processes such as erosion or volcanic activity. However, others were quick to point out the structure's striking resemblance to architectural designs found on Earth, leading to conjecture about its artificial origin. One prevailing theory proposed by amateur researchers and enthusiasts alike was that the dome structure could be the remnant of an ancient Martian civilization, a testament to the possibility that intelligent life may have once thrived on the red planet. Proponents of this theory pointed to the dome's intricate design and apparent construction as evidence of advanced technological capabilities beyond anything previously imagined. As images of the dome structure circulated among scientific communities and the public, speculation about its purpose and significance grew. Some hypothesized that it could have served as a shelter or habitat for Martian inhabitants, while others suggested that it may have held religious or ceremonial significance for the ancient civilization that built it. The discovery of the dome structure on Mars reignited long-standing debates about the possibility of life beyond Earth and the potential for ancient civilizations to exist in the far reaches of the universe. For many, it represented a tantalizing glimpse into the mysteries of our cosmic neighbors and the untold stories hidden within the Martian landscape. However, as with any scientific discovery, skepticism and caution tempered the initial excitement surrounding the dome structure. Some researchers cautioned against jumping to conclusions based on limited information, emphasizing the need for further investigation and analysis to determine the true nature of the formation. In the years since its discovery, the dome structure on Mars has remained a subject of fascination and speculation, inspiring ongoing research and exploration efforts to uncover its secrets. NASA's continued missions to the Red Planet, including the Perseverance rover and future manned missions, hold the promise of shedding new light on this mysterious formation and the broader question of life on Mars. Ultimately, the discovery of the dome structure on Mars serves as a reminder of the boundless possibilities of space exploration and the enduring quest to unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. Whether it represents evidence of ancient civilizations or simply a natural geological formation, its presence ignites our imagination and fuels our curiosity about the universe beyond our own planet. First and foremost, the fascination with mysterious Mars artifacts stems from the quest for knowledge and understanding. As we explore the Martian landscape through the lens of advanced technology, such as orbiters, landers, and rovers, we inevitably encounter anomalies that defy easy explanation. These out-of-place artifacts, ranging from unusual rock formations to seemingly engineered structures, challenge our understanding of Mars's geological and atmospheric processes. Each discovery prompts further investigation and analysis, driving scientific inquiry and pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. Moreover, the allure of mysterious Mars artifacts lies in their potential to unravel the planet's strange history. Mars, once believed to be a cold and lifeless world, has revealed evidence of a more dynamic and complex past. From ancient riverbeds and lake basins to mineral deposits suggestive of past water activity, Mars bears the scars of a planet shaped by geological forces and perhaps the presence of liquid water, an essential ingredient for life as we know it. In this context, out-of-place artifacts offer a tantalizing glimpse into Mars's past inhabitants, whether microbial or intelligent. Speculations abound regarding the origins and purposes of these artifacts, with some suggesting they could be remnants of ancient civilizations that once flourished on the Martian surface. The prospect of uncovering evidence of extraterrestrial life, even in microbial form, fuels our imagination and ignites our curiosity about the possibility of life beyond Earth. Furthermore, the study of mysterious Mars artifacts holds implications for future exploration and colonization efforts. As humanity looks to the stars for potential off-world habitats and resources, understanding Mars' geology, climate, and potential hazards becomes paramount. By studying out-of-place artifacts, scientists can glean valuable insights into the planet's past habitability and assess its suitability for human settlement. From identifying potential landing sites to mapping underground resources, these artifacts serve as signposts in humanity's ongoing journey to the Red Planet. Beyond their scientific significance, mysterious Mars artifacts also capture the public's imagination and inspire awe and wonder. Images of unusual rock formations, geometric patterns, and anomalous structures circulating online and in popular media spark debate and speculation among enthusiasts and skeptics alike. They become the subject of theories, amateur investigations, and science fiction narratives, enriching our cultural landscape and fueling our collective fascination with the cosmos. However, it's essential to approach mysterious Mars artifacts with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical thinking. Not every anomaly captured in satellite images or rover photographs is evidence of ancient civilizations or extraterrestrial activity. Many can be explained by natural geological processes, such as erosion, wind, and volcanic activity, or artifacts of image processing and data compression. A story circulating on various social media platforms recounts the discovery of an abandoned cave entrance near the renowned Nazca Lines in Peru. This account has garnered significant attention due to its intriguing nature. The individual made the decision to thoroughly explore the vicinity. Yet upon entering, he was astounded by what he discovered. In 2018, the Ministry of Culture of Peru took the decision to close the primary entrances. Subsequently, a year after the person shared images of their discoveries on a website, Peruvian authorities took action to shut down the website. In the parched deserts of Nazca, Peru, The adventurer described how he fearlessly embarked on a journey with his camera through the challenging terrain, resolute in his quest to unveil the enigmatic mysteries concealed beneath the Earth's crust. The individual recounted an account of discovering a hidden entrance to a cave, emphasizing that the passage's whereabouts, hidden beneath layers of moving sand over centuries, had safeguarded its enigmas from curious gazes and inquiries. The man's revelation shed light on the extraordinary concealment of the cavern's entryway, which had remained shielded from explorers for years. As he proceeded further into the cave, the faint illumination unveiled a remarkable spectacle, captivating his senses and instilling a sense of awe. Nestled snugly within a narrow crevice, he stumbled upon a meticulously carved stone artifact, its surface embellished with cryptic symbols and figures bearing an eerie similarity to the renowned Nazca lines, the ancient geoglyphs etched into the Peruvian desert. The mysterious object captured his curiosity, laying the groundwork for a remarkable revelation that would challenge all preconceived notions. Delving further into the depths of the cave, he unexpectedly came across a truly remarkable discovery, a substantial golden pyramid adorned with inscrutable engravings, adding an even greater sense of awe to his expedition. The golden facade of the pyramid, despite being dulled by the passage of time, emitted a mesmerizing radiance that seemed to transcend earthly understanding. As he meticulously examined the outer surface of the pyramid, he stumbled upon an even more remarkable revelation. The golden pyramid's surface showcased meticulously detailed carvings and inscriptions, remarkably resembling the ancient Sumerian cuneiform script, which is renowned as one of the earliest writing systems worldwide. This intricate resemblance served as a testament to the enduring influence and richness of ancient cultural exchanges. The ancient inscriptions, despite being worn down by weather and erosion, seemed to tell a story. A testament from a society that seemingly could not have been aware of the Nazca lines, let alone constructed such a monumental creation. The markings, though faded, suggested a deeper narrative, possibly originating from a civilization oblivious to or disconnected from the existence of the Nazca lines. He raised inquiries about the possibility of the cuneiform symbols, which are crafted with wedge-shaped characters, portraying a narrative of a sophisticated civilization that ventured to the Nazca region in quest of knowledge, potentially intrigued by the mystery surrounding the geoglyphs. This prompts us to consider whether there is a deeper connection between the symbols and the ancient civilization, showcasing a profound quest for understanding and enlightenment. The inscriptions referenced the use of celestial navigation, intricate mathematical principles, and a profound desire for knowledge that surpassed limitations of both time and space. Delving into the task with an in-depth commitment, he conscientiously recorded the inscriptions, fully cognizant of their profound historical importance. Furthermore, he carried out thorough preliminary examinations to authenticate the Golden Pyramid, and noted that he had never seen anything like this before. The initial findings provided compelling evidence, indicating that the origins of the pyramid can be traced back over 2 millennia, predating the established Sumerian civilization by several centuries. The unearthing of the Golden Pyramid adjacent to the Nazca lines carries significant implications that transcend our perception of ancient societies and the interwoven nature of human history. This remarkable discovery not only sheds light on the advanced architectural and engineering capabilities of ancient civilizations, but also prompts a reassessment of the history of the area. If the authenticity of the Sumerian inscriptions is validated, it not only contests conventional historical chronologies, but also raises inquiries concerning intercontinental interaction and the dissemination of knowledge within ancient societies. This potential validation could fundamentally transform our understanding of early civilizations. The unearthing of a remarkable golden pyramid in close proximity to the Nazca lines, embellished with ancient Sumerian inscriptions, stands as a perplexing enigma that warrants in-depth exploration and meticulous scientific inquiry. Surprisingly, the images were actually shared online a couple of years back. This has been highlighted by many as a significant factor contributing to their credibility. It has been argued that this timeline provides compelling evidence that they were not disseminated in response to the recent events involving the Peruvian entities. Peru has attracted the attention of numerous researchers due to its illustrious ancient civilizations, stunning natural scenery, and diverse cultural legacy. Furthermore, The country has captured the fascination of individuals interested in the potential existence of extraterrestrial life. Over the course of recent decades, there has been a proliferation of assertions and accounts detailing alleged interactions with extraterrestrial beings and sightings of unidentified flying craft in the airspace of this South American country. Although doubts remain, these reports have ignited interest and discourse regarding the conceivable presence of mysterious beings in Peru. The ongoing skepticism has not deterred the emergence of curiosity and debate surrounding this subject. The enigmatic and awe-inspiring Nazca Lines, situated in the parched Nazca Desert of southern Peru, have long held a spellbinding allure for researchers, archaeologists, and adventurers alike. These mysterious geoglyphs encompass a vast and intricate collection of colossal figures, meticulously etched into the Earth's surface, standing as a testament to one of the world's most iconic archaeological marvels. Spanning an expansive area of roughly 1,000 square kilometers, the Nazca Lines have sparked numerous inquiries regarding their purpose, origins, and the civilization responsible for their creation. Their existence continues to provoke profound fascination, prompting an extensive exploration of their significance and the cultural context within which they emerged. The Nazca Lines were created by the Nazca culture, a pre-Inca civilization that thrived in the region from around 100 BC to 800 AD. This civilization, known for its remarkable pottery, sophisticated irrigation systems, and complex societal organization, was responsible for carving these impressive geoglyphs into the desert floor. The geoglyphs include a variety of shapes, such as animals, birds, humans, and geometric patterns, with the largest of them stretching up to 1,200 feet in length. The ancient Nazca civilization, residing in the dry expanse of the Nazca Desert, grappled with the formidable endeavor of creating colossal geoglyphs with exceptional precision. Crafting the renowned Nazca Lines involved the painstaking removal of iron oxide-coated pebbles, which adorned the desert terrain to unveil the lighter-toned earth beneath. Through meticulous planning and execution, they achieved remarkable accuracy, all without the aid of contemporary surveying instruments or advanced technology. The Nazca people's ability to accomplish such feats reveals their unparalleled ingenuity and mastery of their environment, offering a remarkable testament to their remarkable cultural and artistic heritage. The purpose of the Nazca Lines has been a subject of fascination for many, giving rise to a multitude of theories over time. However, a consensus on their true purpose is yet to be reached. Several prominent hypotheses have been proposed to shed light on this enigma, but none have gained universal acceptance. Some of the leading conjectures regarding the function of the Nazca Lines encompass a wide range of perspectives and speculations. The Nazca Lines have intrigued researchers who speculate that they served an astronomical purpose, possibly as an intricate astronomical calendar or markers for significant celestial events, such as solstices and equinoxes. This belief is bolstered by the alignment of certain geoglyphs with astronomical occurrences. This suggests that the Nazca people may have had a deep understanding of celestial events and incorporated them into the design and purpose of the lines. Numerous academics posit that the Nazca Lines served a religious or ritualistic function. Certain geoglyphs, notably the hummingbird and monkey, are believed to symbolize animals that held profound significance in the eyes of the Nazca community. It is surmised that these depictions may have been employed in various ceremonies or offered as tokens of appeasement to the deities they worshipped. The intricate network of geoglyphs found their purpose intertwined with the spiritual and ceremonial practices of the Nazca people, signifying a deep-rooted connection between these iconic figures and their beliefs. The Nazca civilization gained recognition for developing advanced irrigation methods, enabling them to flourish in a dry climate. Certain scholars propose that the geoglyphs served as indicators for water reservoirs or channels, playing a role in the administration of these crucial water resources. This demonstrates the ingenuity of the Nazca people in devising intricate systems to harness and distribute water, thus facilitating their agricultural productivity. The profound understanding and utilization of water management techniques by the Nazca culture underscore their impressive adaptation to the challenging environmental conditions. The Nazca Lines have sparked another intriguing theory, suggesting that they served as colossal artworks and a means of storytelling. It is proposed that these geoglyphs might have been utilized to depict myths, legends, and cultural narratives, serving as a method of communication for the Nazca people and also for visitors from nearby societies. This theory delves deep into the possibility of the Nazca lines being a platform for visual storytelling, contributing to the rich tapestry of theories surrounding these enigmatic creations. Some academics posit that the construction of the Nazca lines played a crucial role in fostering unity within the Nazca society. The collective involvement in creating these expansive geoglyphs potentially led to the cultivation of a shared identity and a sense of belonging among the population. This substantial undertaking likely contributed to a stronger sense of community and cohesion, serving as a unifying force for the Nazca people. The purpose of the Nazca lines continues to elude scholars, despite numerous theories and speculations attempting to unravel this enigma. What adds to their enigmatic nature is not only the vast scale, but also the intricate complexity of these geoglyphs. The creation of these elaborate designs would have demanded a deep understanding of mathematics, geometry, and surveying from the Nazca people. Intriguingly, they achieved this feat without the advantage of a clear aerial perspective, as most of the geoglyphs can only be fully appreciated from a high altitude. This raises compelling queries about the methods they employed to ensure such meticulous precision and execution without a clear view from the ground. The enigmatic Nazca lines persist in prompting inquiries regarding the societal framework and efficiency of the Nazca civilization. The creation of these immense geoglyphs would undoubtedly have necessitated substantial resources and a substantial labor force. Unraveling how the Nazca populace orchestrated such endeavors and the driving forces behind their actions continues to fuel intense deliberation within archaeological circles. The intricate nature of the Nazca lines not only showcases the technical expertise of the ancient civilization, but also underscores the intricacies of their cultural, social, and possibly religious dynamics, providing a window into the complexities of a civilization's history. The Nazca lines are constantly endangered by a combination of natural elements and human actions. Factors such as wind and rain erosion and the inevitable effects of time have contributed to the progressive decay of certain geoglyphs. Furthermore, the upsurge in tourism within the area in recent years has sparked worries regarding possible harm caused by the increased footfall and vehicular movements. These circumstances have resulted in a pressing need for comprehensive measures to safeguard the integrity and preservation of these ancient and remarkable cultural artifacts. In response to these obstacles, significant initiatives have been undertaken to conserve and safeguard the Nazca lines. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization classification of the site as a World Heritage Site in 1994 stands as a testament to their cultural and historical importance. Furthermore, local authorities have enacted a range of measures, such as imposing restrictions on access to specific areas, limiting aerial overflights, and advocating for responsible tourism practices to mitigate any detrimental impacts on the geoglyphs. These multifaceted actions underscore the concerted efforts to ensure the sustained protection and preservation of this invaluable cultural heritage. The Nazca lines, etched into the desert plains of Peru, stand as an enduring puzzle, exemplifying one of the most iconic and enigmatic archaeological marvels globally. Crafted by the ancient Nazca civilization over a millennium ago, these colossal geoglyphs persist in evoking curiosity and fascination among scholars, archaeologists, and sightseers. Despite the abundance of conjectures surrounding their intentions, no conclusive explanation has surfaced, engendering a captivating enigma that beckons further investigation and revelation. This perplexing legacy of the Nazca culture continues to captivate the imagination, inspiring in-depth research and provoking a quest for deeper understanding. A cryptid refers to an animal whose existence has not yet been substantiated by scientific evidence. However, it is worth noting that numerous accounts of cryptids have been documented over the years, coming from both intrepid explorers and ordinary individuals. In the past few years, there has been a notable increase in the number of reported sightings of enigmatic aerial creatures. However, like many encounters of this nature, these sightings tend to be fleeting, preventing individuals from thoroughly documenting the events and capturing photographic evidence. Nevertheless, There was an exception to this trend, when an individual successfully managed to capture a photograph of a perplexing creature they encountered in Pennsylvania. This incident has sparked curiosity and intrigue among those interested in exploring the realm of mysterious creatures and the unexplained phenomena they may represent. On the 20th of May, a peculiar incident took place in Washington County, Pennsylvania. The details of this event were so intriguing that they caught the attention of numerous cryptid websites. However, even these specialized platforms were left puzzled and at a loss for explanations when confronted with the evidence captured by the individual involved in the incident. The witness provided a detailed account of the weather conditions at the time of the incident, mentioning that it was in the 50s with clear, sunny skies. The individual stated that they were traveling north of US Route 40 when their attention was caught by a flying object near a tree. Initially, they mistook it for an aircraft, but upon closer inspection, they noticed the wings in motion. Intrigued, the witness approached the creature, which then soared over their car. To gain a better understanding, they decided to pull over and observe the mysterious entity. The witness speculated that it might resemble a large bat due to its flying characteristics, but they were uncertain of its true identity. As the creature eventually landed, the individual cautiously approached it to gather more information. Noteworthy details included the creature's black fur and wings, similar to those of bats. A bat possesses one of the most remarkably adaptable wing structures found in the animal kingdom. According to researchers, it closely resembles a human arm, albeit covered by a thin, membranous skin. The sighting took place on a brilliantly bright day, when the creature's wings appeared translucent due to the sunlight illuminating the delicate membrane. Astonishingly, the creature gracefully ascended towards the rear of the eyewitness's vehicle, attracting the attention of other motorists who promptly pulled over to investigate this mysterious phenomenon. Interestingly, another individual parked his car further down the road and emerged to capture photographs of the intriguing creature. Both witnesses marveled at the creature's strength, noting how effortlessly it propelled itself 15 to 20 feet with just a single powerful flap of its wings. The individual proceeded to describe how the mysterious being extended its wingspan, stretching from one side of the road to the other, a staggering estimated length of 25 feet. An authentic photograph capturing the creature in the midst of the road serves as evidence. After a brief period, the witness reported that the creature gracefully ascended above the tree line. It is worth noting that the photographer fervently pursued the creature into the woods, only to realize the potential danger it posed. Aware of its immense strength, the witness promptly retreated, fearing that this extraordinary being had the capability to snatch a person if it desired. As of the present day, we are presented with one of the most vivid and remarkable visuals, capturing the essence of a flying cryptid. This creature's distinct form and posture defy any resemblance to that of a bat, making it clear that no known species aligns with its unique description and impressive size. Referred to by some as the Beast of Pennsylvania, this creature has captured the attention of locals who claim to have witnessed a variety of enigmatic airborne creatures in the vicinity over the years. However, this particular sighting stands out as it offers an unprecedented proximity to the mysterious entity. Notably, astute researchers specializing in cryptids have further scrutinized the image, revealing intriguing details, such as the creature's skeletal structure subtly visible through the thin wing membrane. This unprecedented glimpse provides invaluable insight into the enigma surrounding these elusive beings. Many experts propose an alternative hypothesis, suggesting that this enigmatic being may be linked to the numerous sightings of the Mothman reported throughout the United States. Recent investigations have sparked a surge of individuals who have come forward with fresh perspectives and theories regarding the nature of the Mothman and its possible origins. The intriguing aspect lies in the correlation between these peculiar encounters and the subsequent occurrence of imminent disasters. Consequently, a considerable number of people have begun to question whether the Mothman is not a supernatural entity, but rather a product of scientific advancements. This fascinating phenomenon has attracted extensive research and captivating discussions among scholars as they aim to shed light on the true essence of the Mothman. Enthusiasts argue that the sightings may be interpreted as a forewarning of impending calamities, rather than solely attributing them to the mystical realm. Currently, there remain individuals who maintain their belief in the existence of the mythical creature, with the additional backing of numerous accounts from eyewitnesses confirming the presence of a sizable aerial entity within the geographic confines of Pennsylvania. Cryptid researchers, experts in studying elusive and mythical creatures, have asserted that encounters with large flying beings are infrequent, yet recent accounts suggest a surge in reported sightings. Some researchers have suggested that the photograph could depict the mysterious bat squatch. The legendary creature known as the bat squatch bears intriguing similarities to the Ahul, a mythical creature often depicted as a blend of a bat and the famous Sasquatch. It garnered attention for the first time in the 1980s in the vicinity of Mount St. Helens in Washington state. Descriptions suggest that the bat squatch stands at an imposing height of 9 feet, captivating onlookers with its piercing yellow eyes, vibrant blue fur, and a formidable set of sharp teeth. Its menacing visage features a wolf-like muzzle, while its wings, reminiscent of bats, stretch a remarkable 50 feet in length, composed of leathery membranes. There is a belief among some individuals that sightings of bat squatch can actually be attributed to encounters with Mothman. One particular sighting took place in April of 1994 and involved a gentleman named Brian Canfield. It occurred while Canfield was driving his truck in Pierce County, Washington, and unexpectedly experienced a complete engine failure. The moment the bat squatch descended and touched the ground right before the astonished observer, it triggered a series of newspaper articles that propelled this mysterious creature into the spotlight, solidifying its status as the quintessential cryptid of Washington state. The recent sighting is believed by some to be connected to an incident that took place several years ago. Specifically, on May 18, 1980, Mount St. Helens unleashed its tremendous power. As a result, a vast expanse spanning 203 square miles and 150 acres, teeming with vibrant forests, was completely obliterated. This location witnessed a colossal landslide event, which holds the record for being the largest ever documented. Massive chunks of solid rock were forcefully propelled down the mountainside, completely submerging the previously visible terrain. During the catastrophic event, a torrent of mud and ash relentlessly fell from the sky, obscuring the sun's light and enveloping the surroundings in darkness. The intensity of the calamity was further amplified by the incessant rumblings of thunder and flashes of lightning that reverberated through the area, inducing a sense of terror and despair. Regrettably, this devastating occurrence resulted in the tragic loss of life, claiming the lives of not only 57 people, but also thousands of innocent animals. During this period, many hold the belief that the emergence of the mysterious creature known as Bat Squatch occurred within this desolate region. In 2009, there was yet another reported sighting of the elusive Bat Squatch near California's majestic Mount Shasta. This time, it was witnessed by a group of enthusiastic hikers who were enjoying their trek in the area. To their astonishment, they observed a colossal creature emerging from a cave nestled within the mountain's rugged terrain. The Bat Squatch, with its immense size and awe-inspiring presence, soared gracefully into the open skies, leaving the hikers in disbelief. In the county of Butler, Pennsylvania, a fascinating sighting took place. A magnificent Bat Squatch creature, standing at an astonishing height of 8 feet, was observed in a rather peculiar posture, appearing to hunch over along the roadside. Notably, witnesses reported that this particular sighting showcased a strikingly unusual feature, a head with a distinct shape reminiscent of an aerodynamic helmet. The alleged creature, commonly referred to as Bat Squatch, was characterized not only by its formidable physical attributes, such as well-developed muscular arms and legs and claw-like appendages, but also by its distinctive appearance. It gained considerable attention due to a sighting that took place on April 14, 2014, specifically at Archbishop Hoban High School, located in Akron, Ohio. The fascinating legend of the Bat Squatch holds a profound significance in Native American folklore, particularly within the picturesque Pacific Northwest region of the United States. The indigenous communities residing in this area have intricately woven narratives of a formidable and otherworldly creature, resembling a gigantic bat with a distinct human-like shape, haunting the dense forests and leaving an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those fortunate or unfortunate enough to cross its path. These captivating accounts have been cherished and passed down through countless generations, serving as a testament to the enduring presence of this enigmatic being in the collective consciousness of the region. The origins of the Bat Squatch legend can be traced back through time, with each retelling adding a layer of mystique to this mythical creature's existence. Eyewitness accounts of the Bat Squatch may vary in their descriptions, but several consistent elements emerge. This enigmatic creature is often depicted as an immense being, with bat-like characteristics and a humanoid physique, accompanied by colossal wings that span great lengths. The texture of its covering, whether fur or feathers, fluctuates according to different testimonies, displaying shades that range from deep brown to an ominous black hue. Furthermore, witnesses frequently mention the creature's eyes, which are reported to emit a menacing red glow, adding to the air of dread surrounding the Bat Squatch. However, what truly sets this extraordinary entity apart are its formidable appendages, razor-sharp claws adorning its hands and feet, capable of inflicting significant harm on potential targets. The Bat Squatch commands attention, both through its awe-inspiring appearance and its potential for causing destruction. According to several witnesses, the Bat Squatch is said to emit a bone-chilling screech or a piercing wail, intensifying the fear and dread that accompanies any encounter with this mysterious creature. Interestingly, the physical attributes of the Bat Squatch bear a striking resemblance to the descriptions found in various Native American legends, indicating a consistent portrayal of the creature throughout history. One of the primary arguments advocating for the existence of the Bat Squatch revolves around its potential ecological niche. This enigmatic cryptid is believed to have found its home in the densely forested and mountainous regions of the Pacific Northwest, where extensive stretches of uncharted wilderness offer an ideal habitat. Within these untamed landscapes, the Bat Squatch can thrive, utilizing the area's rugged terrain and the limited presence of humans to its advantage, ensuring its ongoing concealment and evading any potential discovery. The Pacific Northwest's distinctive geography and rich biodiversity create an environment that is well suited for the existence of such a mysterious creature. With its extensive forests, towering mountains, and ample water sources, the region provides an abundance of resources for the creature. Moreover, it is important to note the considerable presence of diverse wildlife in these particular areas, encompassing not only deer and elk, but also various small mammals. This rich and thriving ecosystem potentially provides abundant sustenance for the existence of a sizable predator like the Bat Squatch. This intriguing hypothesis postulates that the creature may have undergone evolutionary adaptations in order to carve out a unique ecological niche. Although mainstream scientific communities have largely dismissed the existence of cryptids, there exists a small group of passionate researchers who have made it their mission to unravel the mysteries surrounding the Bat Squatch. These diligent investigators employ a multifaceted approach, combining conventional fieldwork techniques, such as conducting interviews with eyewitnesses and scouring the area for tangible evidence, with cutting-edge technological advancements like trail cameras and scientific analysis of DNA samples. While the majority of scientific institutions may overlook the search for cryptids, these dedicated researchers delve deep into the realm of the unknown, driven by an unwavering curiosity to uncover the truth. In the vicinity of reported Bat Squatch sightings, a number of casts featuring large clawed footprints have been unearthed, potentially providing tangible proof of the creature's existence. Furthermore, there have been documented audio recordings capturing peculiar vocalizations that closely resemble the rumored screech of the Bat Squatch. While these discoveries cannot be deemed conclusive, they contribute significantly to the ever-growing body of evidence that strongly suggests the Bat Squatch is more than just a figment of imagination or a mere legend. The presence of these footprints and eerie vocalizations opens up a realm of possibilities, prompting further exploration and investigation into the existence of this mysterious creature. The Bat Squatch, although intriguing, is not an isolated phenomenon in the realm of cryptids. Throughout the annals of history, there have been numerous instances where cryptid creatures were initially discredited as mere figments of imagination or deliberate deceptions, only to have their existence later confirmed by the meticulous scrutiny of scientific investigation. This fascinating pattern is evidenced by remarkable examples such as the coelacanth, an ancient fish presumed to have perished millions of years ago, but astonishingly rediscovered alive and thriving. These instances serve as compelling evidence of the dynamic nature of our knowledge about the natural world. They highlight how creatures that are presently classified as cryptids have the potential to transition into legitimate subjects of scientific study and factual acceptance in the future. The existence of the bat squatch, a creature yet to be substantiated by empirical evidence, should not be hastily dismissed. Instead, it warrants a thorough investigation with an open-minded approach and rigorous scientific scrutiny. Such an approach will ensure that we do justice to the possibility of its existence and contribute to the advancement of scientific understanding. As of right now, the intriguing legend of the bat squatch, an enigmatic and elusive creature characterized by its bat-like attributes, firmly ingrains itself within the rich folklore and eyewitness narratives originating from the captivating Pacific Northwest region. Despite the skepticism expressed by some, dismissing the bat squatch as a mere fabrication or series of hoaxes, a wealth of compelling evidence surfaces to lend support to the possibility of its existence. Delving deeper into the realm of the bat squatch, it becomes evident that its mystique is not grounded in baseless storytelling, but rather in a fascinating amalgamation of historical records, first-hand accounts from credible witnesses, and tangible scientific discoveries. So, what do you make of this mysterious photograph? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.